Good morning, good morning, good morning. How everybody doing? I see some people in the chat already. What's cracking? What's cracking? What's cracking? Hey, I had to sleep on that one. I had to sleep on that one. See where my excitement levels would be, yo. Is Ray sleeping in? I'm right here, player. I'm right here, player. How is the view good? Is the view good? Is the voice good? Is the sound good? Audio, video? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Make sure everything loud and clear. We got to do the sound check. We got to do the vision check. I know some of y'all a little sleepy. Some of y'all might have stayed up. Some of y'all might have been lit last night. We're gonna see if some people pull up real quick. Good morning. How everybody doing? You got Robert Pena. What's good? Just win, baby. Yes, sir. Overtime win. Had a night to sleep on it. To see where I'm at. See where I'm at with it. So we ain't over here spazzing out. Ray Love just won, baby. Yes, sir. Was beating down some birds. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, nation. Still smiling from the win. Yes, sir. Big time. Big time win. Big time win. Needed that. Needed to pull that one off for sure, because epic win. It was a crazy game, man. It was a crazy game. Raider Teehee. Yes, sir. Ray Love. Epic. Look, Doc's already pulled up on us. Yes, sir. Graphic pulled up on us. I think he's still in Vegas. Joseph, yes, sir. It's lit, yo. It's lit. How y'all feel after that big dub? How y'all feeling this morning? Y'all got to sleep on it. How y'all feeling this morning? Amazing finish by Carr. I keep trying to tell y'all that boy Carr the truth. I can't remember a time to where Derek Carr, the game was on the line and Derek Carr threw it away for us. I don't remember the time, but we'll get into that. Let's get some people rolling in here. I know people got them sleepy eyes still. I know people trying to wake the sleep about their face. Them little eye boogies out. Come on, pull up. Yes, sir. Hit that like button on the way in. You know what time it is. We're going to go over the game. We're going to do a little overview, but I want to say good morning to everybody. Hope everybody had a good night because I know I did. If you're a Raider fan, you should be glad. You should be bragging. Soak this win up. Soak the feeling up right now. Go to work and talk your shit. You know what I mean? Go to school, brag about it. Whatever you do in the morning, wherever you're going to go, make sure that everybody know the Raiders won for surely. But Raiders SoCal, yes, sir. Defense kept us in the game. Most definitely. And it's crazy because you would have never thought we would say that. You never think you say, oh, the defense kept us in the game, right? First game right out the gate. Yes, sir. Defense kept us in. What's good, Alex Jar? How you doing, boss? How you doing, Alex? Good morning, Alex. Appreciate you pulling up, man. Sean Johnson. That was one crazy game. My heart was racing. My anxiety was all over the place. But just win, baby. Just win, baby. Yes, sir. Let's see real quick. Just win. Let me go ahead and shoot this thing out real quick. Hold up real quick. Shoot this thing out real quick. Okay. So that ass ain't even gonna lie right now. They never forgot. Do this real quick. Boom. Bing, bing. Yes, sir. Easy peasy. There it is. Had to send that link out real quick. Concerned about the old line. We're going to jump right into that. Raiders for life. Yes, sir. Chris Kane, appreciate you pulling up. Great night. Yes. Don't trip. Yo, I got Naughty on all, and I don't get them. I don't know, man. YouTube be tripping sometimes. Yo, check your DMs. That's why I was kind of like, I knew we talked about it, and I knew you said he wasn't going to be at home, so that's why I was kind of like, I don't know. But we could get a little special appearance a little bit later in a little segment. Stupidness, how we missed the O-line experience. Yes, we're going to hop into that. We're going to hop into all that. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Run game. He's way, way better. Go ahead and express the way y'all feel about the concerns you've seen in the game. Go ahead and let me know the concerns y'all see in the game. Let me turn this on real quick. Yeah, express what y'all concerns. Because we're going to jump into all that. We're going to jump into everything that we can this morning and just But let's stay positive. We won. At the end of the day, we won. And you got to think about it. These games, they might not be pretty, but as long as you pull out a win, as long as you pull out a victory, that's all that matters. And the fact that we got a defense that's able to keep us in the game, that's something. What's popping, Ray? Central Cali Bear in the building. What's happening? What's popping, Ray? Ruggs need to do better job cutting. He doesn't create enough separation. No, most definitely, dog. Most definitely. I hear you. I hear you. Willie Wayne's in the building. Incognito will be back. We need him back. That's for sure. From the beginning, I told my pops this is going to be an ugly win, but Carr is the comeback king. We going to win, and he pulled it out. Yo, you can't sleep on Carr, man. If Carr is an elite caliber quarterback, I don't know what is. The white mamba is clutch. Yo, salute nation for surely. Navy Vet 43. Shout out Navy Vet. Ray, did it stress you out seeing Davin Levin on the field? It does, because I feel like we could have potentially better depth than Levin. Honestly, I feel like we could have better potential than that as far as depth. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Brian Rodriguez. Appreciate you pulling up. Appreciate it, man. Mad Max was killing out there. Let's go ahead and hop into it, man. Let's go ahead and hop into it. First things, Central Cali Bear. Let's start off with Central Cali Bear right here. Our entire division is undefeated. Now we need the Ravens to beat the Chiefs next week, so I'll be rooting for them. Yes, for sure. That's a good point, and that's how we should probably start this one off, man, because we got an undefeated division right now. We got the Chiefs that had beat the Browns. The Browns just lost to the Chiefs. Then we got the Broncos beating the Giants, and then we had the Chargers beating the Washington football team. Yo, I'm crazy. I'm surprised I remembered all that, but that's undefeated in our division right now. So we're going to have to really step it up. We're going to have to go out next week, go ahead and get that W, because you're going to have to stay on par. This division is going to have to be double-digit wins if you want to make the playoffs, without a doubt. If you don't get at least 10 wins in this division, you're probably not going to make the playoffs. Or it might be one of those divisions to where it's so tough to where somebody getting 8 or 9 wins could potentially push them into the division, depending on how well everybody plays Kansas City. If Kansas City if we could take them a notch down, then it's going to be like the NFC West, how it was back in the day. Because I remember when NFC West was super tough and they was barely making out the division with 9-10 wins as the division leader. But that's a good point, Central Cali Bear. Chris Kane, one other big concern, Gruden needs to get better on game management. The delay of game at the end was not good. Most definitely, bro. I understand when you're talking about – I think you're talking about Chris Kane. You're talking about the field goal kicker, right? When we were going to go out and kick 3, then we got the delay of game. We had a lot of things going on that's situational that we really need to step up and make and do better at. But let's just stay on a positive note because we did get that win. Mike Nizer in the building. Shout out Mike Nice. So I love it. Wasn't a clean game by any means, but it was the first game of the year. I'll take the W for a game we would have normally lost in past years. Yes, that's true, man, because you got to think about it. The fact that we have a defense that can actually step up and come out there and stop an offense that's as good as that offense, and Lamar Jackson, the way he runs, the way he could get the ball out quick and he could maneuver outside of the pocket, that's showing a lot. We didn't have Yannick like for a whole half nearly. For nearly a whole half, we didn't have Yannick out there. Early in the game, we knew we didn't have Richie Incognito, so John Simpson automatically was going to start. But then on the other side, Denzel Good was an early injury that hindered us, I feel like. And I wouldn't say so much that hindered us. I would say just the fact that he ended up going out, and then we had someone come in and plug in for him. But we do have some concerns. We do have some concerns, Steve Snyder. Does Gruden trust any other back if Jacobs is down, or are we passing 60 times a game? Good point, man. But I think that has a lot to do with the way the Ravens were playing just defense in general, right? They were on us, yo. It was like they were forcing us to make a play. They were basically saying, and I said this, I was talking with Graf and them. I said, the way they're playing us, is like they're basically saying your wide receivers aren't good enough to beat our DBs. That's what the Ravens were saying. Like, I know everybody was watching the game. That man coverage, the way they were blitzing, the way they were pressing, the way they were playing coverage, they were basically saying your wide receivers cannot beat our DBs, and that was the vibe I was getting. That's the vibe I was getting. That's why I feel like we weren't able to really get the run going because they had the box all stacked up. They would press our guys on the outside. And like someone earlier said, Ruggs wasn't getting separation. Edwards wasn't doing anything basically the whole game until like the last 30 seconds of the game. Snead didn't even really play at all from what I remember. He had like the one time I did see him come in, coincidentally, they threw him the ball and he dropped it, went right through his hands and smacked somebody right in the helmet. And then that's when the interception happened. So I think our wide receiver play definitely needs to step up, most definitely. But I don't want to jump into that too much. This is definitely one I need to get to. Robert Pina, appreciate you pulling up, dog. He says, hey, a lot of pressure was on Carlson, 55-yard field goal. I definitely glad you brought that up, dog. What's good with it? Egalitarian, what's up? But Carlson, man, this dude, I'll give credit to whoever found this, man, and it must be Gruden because he's coming through. Carlson's coming through. Our punter was coming through with some boots. He was booting it. Tell me right now the punter was not booting it. One thing about Gruden is funny that he always has a good kicker and punter duo. He always has a good kicker and punter duo, man. But Carlson, shout out Carlson, dude. He really came through big time. John Beck, appreciate you pulling up on us. Levitt definitely don't need to be out there. I feel you, bro. I feel you. Browns blew that game. I wouldn't say the Browns blew that game, man, because the Chiefs just do what the Chiefs do, man. The Chiefs just do what the Chiefs. That's just what the Chiefs do. They just make something happen. Carr never gives up. Carr was throwing clutch on the fade. I haven't seen anything bad about Carr yet, man. Raider Joe in the building. What up, Ray? 16 more to go. Let's beat them squealers. Most definitely 1 week at a time, 1 week at a time. You already know what it is. They sold out to stop our run. Exactly, John Beck. That was on our wide receivers. First super chat of the morning. Good morning. E-Mania in the building. What's happening? Would you play Josh next game? He doesn't seem 100%. My thing with the Josh Jacobs injury is I don't know the severity of it, right? He looked gimpy out there. If it's a toe injury, I don't want him out there at all because I feel like with our history specifically and just the fact that toe injuries can linger, I don't want him out there and have that a longevity type injury. He could potentially be out a couple weeks, up to like 4 weeks or something like that, I would say, if you really want him to just sit, let it heal, everything. But then he'll be able to come back. But if you continue to play him, man, you're kind of risking him being out later in the season. You know what I mean? You don't want him to be out down in the trenches, down when we really need him. So I'd rather sit him now and figure it out and then bring him back later in the season. And so we could continue like that, man. Appreciate the super chat. That's a good point, though, dog. But let's hop. Boy, Graf said, Nassib saved the day. Shout out to Follow on the Max also. Yes, most definitely. So let's hop right into it, man. Let's hop right into it. I want to start off with the score line real quick. And so in the first quarter, we came out 7-0. That's when they got that 35-yard run on us by a rookie, Tyson Williams. That right there, I'm not going to lie. When they got that run and it was 7-0, the way the game was going, I was like, it was almost like, here we go again moment. I'll be honest. Like, I didn't expect them to really get that because the way the defense was saying, then they broke out for a big run. And I'm like, we can't have those kind of lapses again in the defense, right? To where last year it's like, we'd be all right. And then all of a sudden it just break. And those lapses right there, that kind of scared me. They kind of had me on the spook side, but we came through big time. Then in the second quarter, they ended up scoring another touchdown. But Derek Carr, when it comes to being in the 4-minute drill, 2-minute drill, Derek Carr is one of the best, if not the best, during that drill. So right there at the end of the first half, we ended up with 10 points. Then we closed the halftime with 14-10, Ravens up by 4 points. You feel me? Tough game. Ravens come out. Ravens get the ball at half. And in that third quarter, they put up a field goal. We put up 0 points. We put up 0 points in the third quarter. But in the fourth quarter, this is clutch right here. This is clutch because this is when Carr started going ham. I feel like personally, I started feeling like Carr was just like, all right, we got to take over. We got to take over, and that's what Carr did. The Ravens put up 10 points in the fourth, and the Raiders put up 17 points in the fourth quarter so we could be tied for overtime. That right there is all Derek Carr, in my opinion. The dude is clutch. If anybody in Raider Nation tells you otherwise, tell them to leave. If they're not going to root for our QB1, you can get the hell up out of here, right? So at halftime, you got to think. At one point in the second quarter, we were down 14-0. At one point in the second quarter, we were down 14-0. All right. So shout out to the defense. Shout out Derek Carr that we're able to actually walking through TSA. Okay, I see you, boss. And we're able to come back, the grit, the grind. Yo, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. The stat line is ugly when you look at it. Not the stat line, but the score line was ugly when you look at it. OT, of course, we put up the touchdown. We're the only ones to score. We closed the game. End the game 27-33. The Las Vegas Raiders win by a touchdown in overtime. Beautiful, beautiful thing. AJ Cole was fired. Yes, sir. Yeah, Vikings did cut Carlson. Carlson was garbage with the Vikings. He was missing all sorts of stuff, though. I ain't going to lie. I remember specifically Carlson wasn't doing well. I think it was a mental thing for Carlson, though. He probably wasn't with the right organization. Gruden got him right, though. So you got to give props to Gruden for that one for sure. Got to give props to Gruden for that one for sure. Do we know status on McCoy? Nah, not yet, man. But we're going to jump into it, man. So let's go ahead and hop into the stats, though, man. Let's look at these stats real quick because I know Carr, like I said, Carr started snapping. Man. I seen Graf say something. He said, okay, Graf said walking through TSA. I'm going to pull up in a minute. So Graf will pull up, but let's look at the stat line real quick. Let's go to the recap and see what we got. Full box score. We have Derek Carr, 34 of 56. 34 of 56. He had a passer rating. His QBR. Derek Carr's QBR was 52.8, and it says he had a rating of 89.5. He threw for 435 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. He had 1 pick, which we already know the interception came from that drop pass by Willie Snead. That would have closed the game right there. But over 400 yards passing. That'll get the job done most of the time. But that just means you're slinging the ball. 56 throws by Derek Carr. That's a lot by Derek Carr. Usually you don't see that. Let's go down to the running game. Josh Jacobs had 10 carries for 34 yards. But the surprising stat for Jacobs is he had 2 touchdowns. Jacobs did have 2 touchdowns. He had that nice run. I want to say it was about a 15 to 20-yard run. So it was a 15-yard run. He was looking shifty in there. He was making people miss. And he got that score big time. Mariota had that 1 carry for 34 yards, which I like to see. But the thing about that Mariota run, think about that drive on the Mariota run. We did not score. You feel me? What's good with it, Knock Andrew? Appreciate it. Hit that like button if y'all pulled up on us. Appreciate it, man. Goes a long way. It's free. So hit the like button. If you hit the like button, hit it an odd amount of times. Either hit it once or hit it 3 times. You feel me? Let's go. But that run by Mariota was nice, yo. Nice play call by Gruden. But you got to think, we go down. Mariota runs all the way down. Then we end up not even putting points on the board. We get caught up. I think we get sacked. We had a penalty. And it was just ugly. And we end up punting the ball, yo. But Chris Gang want to throw Carr did better than Rodgers, most definitely. He did do better than Rodgers. I wouldn't say he is better, but he did better. Rodgers played like garbage. I watched that game when they played the Saints. How you let Jameis Winston outdo you like that? Carr showed why he is elite and he can win. Yes, sir. Big Ben's in trouble if he sees Yannick and Max. That's the thing. Let's hope Yannick is fresh. Let's hope Yannick is Dirty Raider. Shout out Dirty Raider, man. What it do, man? What it do, Dirty Raider? Brian Edwards didn't show up until the fourth, most definitely. And now let's get to that, right? Let's get to that. Let's finish this runs because Derek Carr had 4 carries for 6 yards. Drake has 6 carries for 11 yards. So let's get down to the receiving. Darren Waller, 10 receptions for 105 yards. 10 receptions for 105 yards and a touchdown for Darren Waller. So Darren Waller was snapping. I know he had 19 targets, and I know he had a couple drops, though. Uncharacteristic of Darren Waller to actually have that many drops. I was surprised, but I felt like the offense started slow anyways. It was a little rusty. So I think that may have been why. Sitting out of the preseason, Darren Waller also had an injury during camp, I believe. So he wasn't there for some of the camp and stuff like that. But definitely there was some rust on the offensive side of the ball. Now let's get down. So our second leading receiver was Brian Edwards. And like my boy Beezy right here, he says Brian Edwards didn't show up until the fourth quarter. Brian Edwards didn't get his catch till the fourth quarter, and I believe it wasn't until about 40 seconds left. Like there was a minute left in the game. Brian Edwards finally gets his catches in, and he went 4 receptions for 81 yards, 20 yards per catch. 20 yards per catch, that's big right there. And he had 5 targets. You start to go down. Hunter Renfrow went 6 for 70. And then you have Ruggs, which is 2 for 46. And Zay Jones was 2 for 46 as well. But an interesting stat right here, which we all probably expected to see from Drake, is that Drake had 5 catches for 59 yards, and each catch went for about 12 yards. That's quality right there from Drake. Quality receiving from Drake right there. Let's get to some of these comments real quick, though. Everett Plater, hey, Wright, I just want to say, love that we won the game. Defense is the MVP, and I'm going to need Carr to stop going 3 and out so much and ball out earlier than later. I hear you, Everett. Definitely agree that the defense is the MVP. My game ball for the defense, what is Gus Bradley? That's what I said. I've said it many times before. Gus Bradley is my favorite offseason acquisition. He's the guy. He's the boy. You feel me? So Gus Bradley is the dude that we needed for this defense for sure, because just the fact that we played that well on defense, and you got Carl Nassib showing up in a clutch situation when everybody was bagging on him, saying he needs to go. He was terrible, but he comes through with this. And Gus Bradley got him in the right place. That says a lot, because PG obviously couldn't get that done. As far as I'm going to need Carr to stop going 3 and out so much, I don't think that's always on Carr. You got to think about it. There's one specific drive that I can think of right now. We were backed up in the Ravens we were backed up to our own end zone, right? We come out, we run the ball, we get stuffed. I believe then we get an out route to Waller. Derek Carr throws it to Waller. He runs up the sidelines, and then we get a penalty for holding on Andre James. So then we got to get moved back. And then after that, we basically we throw the ball again, I believe. Waller drops the ball, and then we run the ball with Jacobs, and he gets like 1 yard, and we punt it. Like, that's not – you can't blame Carr for that. You can't blame Carr for certain drives. There was a drive, and this is one I was talking about right here. One I'm talking about is when Mariota was running the ball. He gets Mariota gets about a 30-yard run. We get into Ravens territory, and then we get a couple of penalties. We get a drop pass, and then we have to punt it. How do you get in field goal range, nearly about to score, but then you end up like 1st and 30 on your own 50 punting the ball, or on the 50 punting the ball? That right there is dramatic. Definitely have to clean that up. I don't think that's on Carr, but I do agree that he needs to start out earlier. He needs to get it early. But like I was saying, and I think a lot of you guys could agree, is that we were rusty at first, especially on offense. We were rusty on offense, and they just weren't getting it done early in the game. But you've seen as the game went on, we started to get comfortable. We started to settle down, and I think that's what we have to do with this team. We just have to settle down because of how young we're on the offensive side of the ball and how antsy everybody is just to get that dub and win. You know what I mean? I feel like these players are just like us right now. We just want to win, get it done. Thumper World in the building. Appreciate you pulling up. Perriman and Abrams were out there laying hits. Yes, sir. We're about to hop right. We're about to get to the defense real soon. What it do, Raider? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cheddar Mac, they needed to play in preseason. I think if they would have played in preseason, they would have brushed a little bit of that rust off, yo. Raiders fans woke up with Leatherwood this morning. Yo, you wildin'. Yo, you wildin'. You wildin'. Carr is clutch. Yes, bro. Yo, you already know. DB Crypto in the building. Haven't seen DB Crypto in a minute. Mariota got hurt on that run. Yeah. I had said that in the group chat. I got a group chat with other Raiders, you feel me? And I said, I had to tell him, like, yo, you see that run? That boy got smushed at the end of that play because they tried to take the ball out that man's hands. And I think Mariota might have hurt a rib, hurt a shoulder, or something like that. Mullen needs to stop getting handsy. Yeah, let's hop right into the defense, man. Let's hop right into defense. I see a lot of people talking about the defense. We got a McCoy question. How worried are you about Yannick? We got a Yannick question. So, yeah, we most definitely got some questions. Let me get a couple super chats real quick. Jose Lopez says, we need another guard. John Simpson ain't it. Yeah, let's stick on. Let's go to the offense real quick then. While we're here on this stat line. Derek Carr got sacked 3 times for a total loss of 26 yards. Derek Carr got sacked 3 times for a total of 26 yards. I want to say 2 of those sacks are on Andre James and 1 is on Alex Leatherwood. So our offensive line, I wouldn't really worry too much about our guards right now because the way they played wasn't the greatest. But because they're on the interior and John Simpson does have some experience, he's finally getting into that comfort zone, right? That he's going to start playing better and better as the time goes on. He's going to start building up that almost like that callus, that NFL callus, you feel me? So you just have to give him a little bit of time. As far as E, I'm gonna just call him E because honestly, I don't know how to pronounce his name. His name's like Eo, the other guard. I can't even pronounce his name. He didn't do too bad to where he like stood out and like, oh, you could tell Denzel Good got hurt and he was out. So our offensive line does need a lot of help though. Offensive line really does need to step up. Let me get to this one more super chat, and I got someone behind the scenes who was actually at the game, man, so that could actually describe how the feeling of being in that stadium was. Because, I could only imagine being in that stadium with everything going on, having a couple drinks in you, having friends, having the stadium rocking. So let's go ahead and let's find out how it really felt to be in the stadium. You feel me? What's good? What's good? Can you hear us? What's good?
Yo, you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's up, my brother?
What's good, Graf? Tell us, man. Man, I know we was texting back and forth. We in the group chat talking so much, man. I had to disappear at the end. I stopped texting. I stopped everything. I didn't look at my phone, put my phone down. When there was like a couple minutes left in the fourth quarter, I stopped everything. I just sat on my couch quiet, didn't say a word, didn't touch nothing, my phone or anything. How was it, man, being in the stadium, being able to feel that energy and everything like that? Oh, we might have lost him. Might have lost Graf. But you still there? You got Jason Hall on the super chat. He says, thoughts on the guard who came in for good? Solid? Most definitely. And that's what I was saying. I think he played solid because you got to think, as an offensive lineman, if your name's not getting called while you're out there, then you must be doing pretty good because you're not getting beat, right? You're not getting penalties and you're not getting beat. You got to think when Alex Leatherwood's name was getting called was because he was getting some of those false starts. So it was kind of rough, man. It was kind of rough for an offensive line. Serving the truth, John Abrams made a great defensive play across the middle. In OT, yes, most definitely. When he popped the ball out, I think you're talking about when he popped the ball out against Mark Andrews. But tell us about how it felt, being in that stadium, closing the game, man. OT, you got your money's worth, man. You got your money's worth, man. Tell us about it.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I almost walked out, man. When we threw that INT, I was so pissed. Like I started walking out, and I was like, you know what? I can't do this. I have to watch this entire game. And I know DC's your guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love you too, but I know you're a bigger advocate for DC. We'll say it like that. And he made up for it, man. He made up for it, bro.
No, so
It was a
No,
movie,
most
bro.
definitely.
The stadium movie, bro. It's a
Yeah.
movie. Straight,
I can
like,
hear it. I can hear it in your voice. I can hear it in your voice. Most definitely. I can hear it in your voice, man. Hell
I
of a
had such.
week. Hell of a week for you though, man. Hell of a week for you though. Just following
Yeah,
you, following you on social media, just knowing you personally now. You know what I mean? Seems like it was hell of a week for you, man. Tell us, because I honestly, we haven't talked too much. I know you've been busy, and I honestly, I
yeah.
want to know how the week went making wow, I got you on the show. How the week went making the anthem, meeting up with for me personally, I don't know everybody in the chat. You know, I'm from Cali. Me and Graf, we're from the same damn near the you know what I mean, same area, same sandbox, you know what I mean? And
Straight up.
we grew up listening to certain people. So person like AP9, someone I grew up listening to. You feel me? I grew up listening to him, Hustler, Jack, Ryder J. Clyde, all them, the whole mob figure.
Every
So
one.
how
Mhm.
how was it? Um, um, how was it? Pretty black, you know what I mean? Rest in peace. But how was it
Yeah.
for meeting up with AP9, getting the anthem together, being like, I'm sure you was busy, being at the Sahara with the Sahara,
Yeah.
right? With Cody, seeing Samoa Raider ended up going to the game, right? Ended up surprising everybody and actually going to the game, popping up with lives. How was it, man? Just tell us how that week was.
I'm gonna give you a tidbit real quick, bro. That I haven't said yet, right? So, AP is family. I
Yeah.
always talk AP all the time. We were at the studio. Yuck just sent his verse over. That's why the song is not done yet. I'm waiting on verse Yuck to get his mix, and then Baby Bash is sending his verse over too.
Yeah.
Nump, a couple other people are sending it over, so it's on the way. But Mr. Fab was in the studio with me the other night, right?
Yeah.
And he said, Graf, I love you. He said, I'll do a verse with you right now. Anything you want to do. He said, but not this song. I said, what you mean? He said, I'm a Seahawks fan, bro. Fab hurt my soul, bro.
What? I didn't know Fab was a Seahawks fan.
None of us in the studio knew. AP didn't know. No, but no, AP was like, man, quit playing, cuz you lying. Fab was like, but I'm a Seahawks fan. Because, Beast Mode is his cousin. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He's a Seahawks fan. So Fab is not on the song. We ended up doing something else, which
Yeah.
we'll drop soon. But that hurt me, man, because I wanted Fab on the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Look, bro, we had a ball, man. Shout out to Cody. Shout out to Samoan.
Yeah.
It was great over there at the Sahara. I did Mitch's show on Saturday. We
Yep.
did the Raiders report. I was bouncing around. I didn't get a chance to do a lot of my own shows because I just wanted to have fun, man, and see
Yeah.
the nation and just touch the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want anybody in the chat. I want y'all to know, man, that I'm going to be here every Monday or Tuesday whenever we play with Raid. Doing this show, but I'm traveling right now. But
Yeah.
bro, I had a blast, man. The song is fire.
Yeah.
Trust me, you guys gonna love it. The game, the experience. I was literally in the parking lot, and I just looked at everybody going in and I said, you know what? I'm buying the ticket right now, bro. And I just bought one.
Yeah.
So I had to go in.
That man had to buy the ticket, man, and I'm glad you did because of the way the game turned out. It's almost like you would have probably been more upset not buying the ticket. You feel me? Like you
Yeah.
have to save that ticket stub now. You know what I mean? And be like, I remember when I was at that game because that shit was so lit. And it reminds me of when that Thursday night game. I know we talked about it before when we played the Chiefs and it was all zeros on the clock. And that's what that game reminded me of. You know what I mean? It wasn't exactly it didn't end the exact same way, but just the stadium and how it was rocking. Tell us how it was just being in there, man, and like how loud it was. Like, did it really get that loud? Because
it was really loud. It was really loud. Especially when Ice Cube and Too Short performed at halftime. Everybody was there going crazy. It's still a new vibe. You know what I mean? Like this is not Oakland anymore. Let me tell you that. There was new chants that I've never heard before.
Yeah.
It was like, you know what I mean? It wasn't, we were always Raid, or there was let's go Raid. I'm like, well, that's not us. We don't do that. I just sit back and realize, we're in a new city, man. We're taking on new things. So as someone that grew up in Oco, it was still new to me. But bro, it was a movie, bro. Like there's I've never experienced anything like that at any sporting event in my life. And I'm not even saying that just because it's the Raiders.
Yeah.
Like, bro, this is insane, bro. Insane. And the first half, I almost, that offense was so stagnant, man, that everybody in the stadium was just like, what's going on? But you know, in the second half, man, we all got it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just to jump into the game, yo. That first half, it's crazy to think that we actually ended the half 14-10.
Yeah.
Like that first half, if you would, the way it felt like it was 14-0.
Bro,
You feel me?
facts.
It felt like it was 14-0, but then somehow we went to the half and it ended up being 10-14. And I was like, yo, how did we pull out 10 points? Because I feel like the half was nearly over. And next thing you know, it was 14-10. Man, and it was just crazy. The second half was wild. We had a couple injuries. We had Denzel Good go down early. Cleveland Farrell randomly a healthy scratch. I really feel like he would have helped, although our defense did play well. As we know, Richie Incognito wasn't playing. So we had a little do-over on the offensive line pretty late. And I think the offensive line showed their inexperience, honestly, man. Like, I feel like the offensive line, the penalties, they were crucial. Like I believe two first downs were called back because Andre James holding. And then I want to say the crucial false start by Alex Leatherwood on the goal line when we're about the half-yard line, and you know, we get that penalty, and then the very next play, we pull some Seahawks. I thought we was about to pull some Seahawks type bullshit. I thought we were about to throw a pick, and the game was going to be over when we could have just ran the ball in, right? But we get the penalty, we throw it, we end up throwing that random pick that Snead should have caught. I felt like he should have caught. I don't know. And then
still working for the Ravens, bro. He's still working for the Ravens, man.
Apparently, man. Yo, and it's crazy because the whole time I want to say that was personally the first time I seen him actually in the game to do something. You know what I mean? Like running a route, and boom, Carr put it on him, and I don't think he was ready. He was not game ready.
But let me ask you this real quick. Well, first of all, shout out to Gerald McCoy. Man, I hope that he gets. I'm gonna be honest. I think McCoy is done.
Yeah.
Look back. Yannick's gonna bounce back. The hamstring. He was a questionable return, so he'll be back on Sunday. Denzel Good. That was a little scary too because we're already light on the offensive side of the. So we only gave up 3 sacks. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's a good amount of sacks, but for a new offensive line that's trying to gel together, and playing against a defensive line like Baltimore's, I think we did okay. The penalties were bullshitted. Andre James showed that he wasn't ready yet. It's going to take some time, but I still believe in Cable. And if Cable's sold on Andre James, then who am I to say I'm not sold on him? But he showed his immaturity in his game. You know, he just the bright lights, man. It's Monday night. You know, you're in the middle of a million fans. I mean, Carr was trying to tell the crowd to shut up the whole game. You know what I mean? So I can only imagine what Andre James was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? He fumbled. He gave up a few penalties. Leatherwood with the bonehead one. Yes, that hurt. But Colton Miller looked great. Great. Richie will be back in Pittsburgh. I truly believe that this was just an all-out effort. That second half was crucial, man. This defense really looks good. I'm gonna be honest. In the first half, I was like, I don't know. I think this is the same team. I think this is the same team, just a different year. And they proved me wrong, man. They proved me wrong. I got to remember that there's 3 linebackers that's never played together. You know, Denzel Perry, KJ Wright. I mean, all these guys, Littleton, they've never played together. You know what I mean? So it was going to take some time. Like Stu said, shout out to Stu. I just left him. We were drinking all morning at the M. So I'm literally about to jump on this plane on the way back to Texas right now. But Abram, I think, still needs to work on his tackling. But he was all over the place. He was in the box. I love it, man. I love to see Abram playing his game. Married to me.
That hit he made on Mark Andrews to pop the ball out was crucial. I thought it was a fumble myself, but that was crucial. So, Abram really made that play, man. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: who was your if you had to give out game balls? Who was your guys? I mean, we know DC for sure. We know Mad Max. I mean, that's easy. Those 2 guys were the MVPs for the offensive and defensive side. But Nassib, that was he played a crucial part because Yannick went out early, and Nassib showed up.
Yeah, he did. He did. Most definitely. Let me get Jose Lopez says, how the hell is Fab a Hogs fan? He from Oakland. I don't know how you're a Hogs fan, man. I know Fab for surely he got his roots embedded in the Bay Area for sure though. So definitely can't take that away from him. I don't know how you a Hawks fan though. That's surprising to me, but
Cousin, it's a blood. You know, Marshawn is his blood cousin,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they're from Buffalo. You know, he was just supporting them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, but yeah,
But as far as the game ball, man, I said already that on the defensive side, my game ball was going to the coach.
okay.
Going to Gus Bradley, straight to Gus Bradley. I know Max did well. Carl showed up. You know, the whole defense just played well. I think Denzel Pyramid,
Carlson,
Daniel Carlson.
55-yarder to put us in old.
Daniel Carlson's been good for us for last year as well. I feel like he's already proven like he's that dude. Carlson's proven like he's that dude. He can get it done. You know what I mean? As far as the game ball, though, I definitely got to go with Gus Bradley. I really like the way he played. Jefferson played pretty well. You know, the whole defense, man. I'm just so happy the defense did good, dog, because we haven't had a defense that could do anything in how long? Like, Graf, how long has it been since we've seen our defense, you know, poke the ball out, get, I want to say 3 fumbles accounted for.
Forever.
Two fumble recoveries. So that right there was golden for us. And I'm just happy that our defense is actually showing out.
Shout out to Fireline as well, man. He deserves a game ball, man. He's all over the place as well in the defensive line. I'm just happy that we can generate some pressure now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love it, bro. Like, I love it. Like, now to know that we can get to the quarterback, I think we're going to kill Big Ben on Sunday, bro.
Most definitely. Sure. Most definitely. The thing is, though, is Yannick's hamstring. I wonder how severe that is. If he's going to just rest the week and then be able to come out, play limited snaps against the Steelers. Because I wouldn't want that to be like a lingering injury. But it makes me wonder if we would sit him because of how Nassib played and then just have Cleveland Ferrell come out and actually play since he was a healthy scratch. You feel me?
Hey, let me ask you this. Do you think that he was a healthy scratch because we brought up Regis off the practice squad? Because, you know, Jacobs was sick. Still, he couldn't run the ball really that effective today. I think he had like 10 carries for like 36 yards or something. But he had 2 teams. I'm still pissed that we did not run. I would have ran Jacobs 4 times on the 1-yard line. Period. But do you think that he was a healthy scratch because we brought Regis up off the practice squad? I don't really understand. Our best run defender was not out there.
That's the only thing. That's literally the only thing I could personally think of is that we needed a body to, you know what I mean? We needed to basically exchange body for body. You know what I mean? Like, and I wouldn't have done it for Regis. I would have just kept them on. And if Drake had to carry the load, you got to carry the load. And have Jacobs come in, you know what I mean, and be the second back with his injury. But I don't know. I like Cleveland Ferrell this matchup. I feel like he played the option really good. He can play the option real good. He can play the run really well. And but I mean, they proved that they saw something to call Nassib to have him play over Cleveland Ferrell apparently, and it paid off. You know what I mean?
Well,
and I'll give him credit for that.
I'm telling you now, Cleveland's going to play a lot on the inside now with Gerald McCoy going out. I think he's going to get a lot more burn at defensive tackle. So
it's not
again to hear soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not looking good for Gerald McCoy from what it seemed like, man. Getting carted off. Yeah, whenever somebody gets carted off, it ain't good. Let's get some of these comments though. We got some of these comments. What's good with it? Nick 209. What's up, Ray? Keep up the good work, yes, sir.
My bad.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Keep up the good work. Hey, Docs, where you get that shirt at? EV Smash.
I got it in Dallas at the mall, bro.
Yeah. Just you run us a salute graph. Yep. Yes.
Shout out to the chat, man. Make sure you guys wipe them feet.
Yes, sir. Hit that like button. You already know what it is. All right, man. I mean, yeah, the defensive line was cool. But let's get to the linebackers, yo. How did you feel about how the linebackers played? Because I know there was a couple of times we brought up Nick Wachowski because he got beat by Sammy Watkins. Like,
he should have been on him first.
Personally, when it came to that, though, it's like I don't see Nick Wachowski cover Sammy Watkins in any type of fashion, really, though, especially 30 yards down the field. You know what I mean? that's kind of hard for any linebacker. I don't think KJ Wright would have been able to do it. I don't think Denzel Perryman would have been able to do it. We would have had to have somebody with actual speed like a Diablo, like a Javin White, Muse to keep up, just to keep up with the wide receiver like that. You know what I mean? Denzel Perryman did play good for us. I felt like, though, Littleton needs to do. Yeah, Littleton needs to show me something still. He still needs to show me something besides just besides hitting holes and gaps. He needs to actually show out and do something. KJ Wright made a crucial play on a run. Very good draw up by Gus Bradley, having him go on the inside like that. I don't know if that was Gus Bradley or KJ Wright just knowing exactly what's going on and just pulled up to go right up the middle. But how you feel about the linebackers, yo?
I'm excited about Perriman in the run game. I think KJ's only going to get better. He literally just came over like last week. Littleton to me is the biggest disappointment because I'm a huge advocate for him. I feel like he can be a Pro Bowler this year, man, because he was literally at one point the best cover tight end in this league. I mean, a linebacker in this league. Yep. Like I just don't understand how he just disappears so much, bro. Like it doesn't make any sense to me, man. Don't get me wrong. Mark Andrews wasn't great in this game. Hollywood was cooking us. I mean, let's be honest. Hollywood thing. Watkins had some pretty big plays, but the defense as a whole, man. To be honest, look, man, we held Lamar to a very, very, very honest, like humble game. Like I mean, I couldn't ask for more. I'm excited Packers with another week or two more experience together. I want to see what they can do against the Pittsburghs and the Miamis of the world because they still need some more time to gel.
Yeah, no, most definitely, man. And we got so many linebackers rotating. We got a couple hurt dudes that just literally came in a week ago and just popping into play for us. So they for surely got a gel. And just the fact that we looked this cohesive, moving as this well of a unit, and we got guys coming in that's only been here for about a week. It shows a lot, you know what I mean? It shows a lot. Tater Tay, he says they just caught us in the wrong defense, most definitely. And I was watching the whole game. When you got that cover three, when you run that cover three, they have a play waiting just to get that look. Once the defense gives that look, the offense was literally waiting for them to give the look so they could run that play. That's all they were waiting because that's all. I feel like that's all they had. Like they had that one play, and then they're like, once we get that look, we're gonna run this play, and that's how we're gonna get downfield, and that's how we're gonna get our points. And that's what happened when it got close. It got close to the end of the game. The score was close. They got the look they wanted. They ran that cover three beater, which is the crosser, and has that backside linebacker have to chase a freaking wide receiver downfield. And they used it, and they got downfield, and they ended up scoring. But that's all they had in the bag because after that, they couldn't do anything. Even before that, they really couldn't do anything. But after that, they had no more to draw up. And Gus Bradley started going a little bit of more cover two also. But
yes, yeah.
But
do you think this defense can be really great, or do you think it's going to be more of a bend don't break?
Bend don't break.
That's
definitely
kind of
bend don't break.
Don't break kind of defense.
Yeah, I think this defense is built to be a bend don't break defense, but it's on the individual players to make a play, and that's why it's so important for them to punch the ball out. Like that's why it's so important. Once they get around that ball, they have to punch it out because it's a bend don't break. That's how they'll get their turnovers. You feel me? So as long as they stay disciplined, keep everything in front of them, and they rally to the football and try to get it out, I think that's how this is built off of. You know what I mean? I'd rather hold them to 3 points than than risking giving them 7. But I like the way they look. I like the defense look. So
I love Casey Hayward. He looked really good out there early. Mullen made a few mistakes, but he bounced back from them. We talked about Abram. Merrick, I still feel like Merrick hasn't really been challenged too much yet. So I don't really
on that one, I was
excited about me.
Yeah, for sure. But on that one, I'll say he needs to help Nick Wachowski on that. If you see a guy crossing your path, if you see a guy crossing right in front of you and your linebacker is chasing him, you need to help your linebacker. Like, I don't care what linebacker that is. If that linebacker makes the play, he is one of the best linebackers in the league at pass coverage. If you make that play 30 yards downfield covering a wide receiver, I don't care what linebacker you are. You need to get credit for that. But that is too hard. And being that single high over the top safety, he should have helped him. He should have helped him a lot more.
Hey, let me ask you this: what do you feel about, bro? Damon Arnett is a special teamer now.
The only thing I would say about Damon Arnett right now is the fact that he's not acting out of character.
No, yeah, for
He
sure.
came in. He was a first round pick. Last year he was a starter. He came in as a starter. This year you get a vet come in. Nate Hobbs is showing out preseason. Ends up taking this spot in the slot. You end up getting pushed down the depth chart, pushed down the roster. If he's a special teams guy and he's continuing to hold himself accountable and just say, "Hey, I'm a special teams guy. I'm not going to trip. I'm not going to shout and say, hey, I'm a first round pick. I should be starting, blah, blah, blah." And he continues to work, then I'm good with that. I'll be honest. I'm good with that. I just don't like the fact he's a first round pick on the special teams. I don't like that. But the fact that he's not acting out of character like some other guys do or some other guys would, and he's just taking it, seems like he's taking it day by day. He shows up to practice. Max Crosby messing with him about his shorts, but he's showing up to practice. He's doing what he does, not being a distraction. Then I'm good with it because I feel like he does have the tangibles to be a good cornerback. And when the time comes, he'll be able to come in and be a solid, whether it's a solid depth piece. I know I'm being optimistic right now, but he'll be either a solid depth piece or he will be that starter. Most definitely, he will be that starter when the time comes. But Casey Hayward, like you said, played well. I know they tried him one time on a deep pass, and he completely cut that off. They didn't even have a chance. Yep. I would say the only play by Casey Hayward that I kind of wanted to see him do better is that play with Nick Kwiatkowski. So that play, they did that. They did the same concept twice, though. When it was Hollywood Brown came across, and he caught that pass. I know Hollywood Brown, he did a crosser, and he caught that pass. And Mullen went down to play the underneath. But when you're in the cover three, that corner is supposed to go all the way back. And Mullen sunk in to play that tight end. So then when that crosser came behind him, he didn't know, you know what I mean? Because he was just playing what was in front of him. He didn't know someone went behind him. So then Hollywood got that pass over him. Same thing, but it went to the other way with Sammy Watkins. This time Nick Kwiatkowski was just chasing him. But Casey Hayward in that third playing the cornerback, he should be way back there. But it's just how the offense runs those plays, and it's just a cover three beater. And I know someone else said it. It's just they caught us in the wrong defense. No, they caught us in the right defense. They knew what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing. Kansas City is going to do that all game. If we're going to play the cover three, you'll watch. When we play Kansas City, we're going to see that all game.
Let me ask you one question because I'm going to get on this plane here in a second.
Yes, sir.
The first possession, were you as excited as me to see Gruden doing some different things? Like DC was lined up at receiver. Mariota's running the ball and ran for 31 yards. Like we did some creative format. We did some different things that first possession, and then the offense just died. What did you think about that?
As far as seeing different looks, or as far as the defense or the offense kind of dying off?
Okay, because we were high on the offense. We were very high.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
And then it was like, even in the chat, because y'all don't know, we have a chat where we talk big shit. Yeah, and I was like, what is DC doing? Like he's overthrowing people. People are dropping balls. I mean, look, man, Edwards and Ruggs didn't even have a reception, I believe, until the fourth quarter. Like it was that bad. Yeah. But the first possession, like DC lined up at QB, Ruggs was inside and out. I mean, we were doing so many creative things on the offensive side of the ball that first possession, and then it just seemed like we went vanilla after that. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm watching a different game, but like, how did you feel about just the offense in the first half in general? Let
me get to the super chat real quick because he said trying to get an apology to Graphic Writer. I didn't see if he said a comment before Martin T. I know Martin T. Shout out Martin T. Yo, appreciate the super chat.
I know what he's talking about. Shout out to Martin. We let's love, brother. You already know what's good. All good, brother.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't see what you said before, Martin T, but Graph know what you're talking about, though. Appreciate you holding down, Martin T, pulling up on us. You already know it's all love, boss. But as far as the offense in the first half, I feel like it was just rusty, yo. Like, I think it showed that we didn't play as a team or a unit in a game before. You got to think on that drive with the Mariota. I talked about it right before you hopped on. I think. So we go down. Mariota gets that long run. Then we make a pass, and I believe it was Derek Carr throws a pass. It was dropped.
Yeah.
And then we end up getting a penalty. We get a holding penalty. I think it was Andre James that got a holding penalty because Jacobs made a run, had ran it outside. Andre James, we get a penalty. So we end up 1st and 20 on like the 45 when we were damn near in the red zone. And then I believe Derek Carr took a sack. So then it was like, yo, like it was just rusty, bad mistakes. And I think a lot of our mistakes were just the offensive line, honestly. I know we had some drops, but the time that we got the calls for the penalties were too crucial because 2 of them were first downs that got called back that turned into punts. And then 1 was a false start that ended up turning into a freaking interception when we were on the half-yard mark, right? So as far as the first half, I just need to see the offensive line play clean. And our wide receivers got bullied.
For sure.
That's it. I'm not going to – they got bullied. I've been saying it. The Ravens basically came out and said, look, we're going to play you press man up. We're going to beat us. They looked at our wide receivers and said, beat us. You need to beat us. And they didn't. I'll be honest. They didn't do it for about 3 quarters. About 3 quarters, they didn't do it. Ruggs was silent. Edwards was silent. Only people that showed up was our tight end, Darren Waller, which, of course, he's a dog. But then our boy Hunter Renfrow, 3rd and Renfrow, of course, he pulled up on us, and he started showing why he's 3rd and Renfrow. You feel me? So I think our wide receivers, man, and I know we talked about this before on the live, dog, and I told you I was worried about the receiver corps. And
it's because Ray has said this before. I said I was good with our receivers. Ray said I'm still worried about that room. Because, look, Waller, I think, was targeted 18 to 20 times. You can't go to Waller that lets me know that Carr is still a little skeptical about his receiver, man. I mean, it's crazy that out of nowhere Zay got the winning touchdown. I love that, though. I love that Zay got it because it's crazy to see that Willie almost lost us the game, but then Zay won it for us.
You feel me?
So, but – yeah, man, those receivers didn't show up until the 4th quarter. And you were right, bro. I'm a little worried about them because they're that we're going to play against. They have some great secondaries. And I don't know, man. This also is because we didn't play these guys in preseason. A lot of these guys are resting. So I think we're going to continue to get better. This offense is going to be great regardless. It is. It's just more time to gel. Edwards, thank God, man. He had, 70, 80 yards? I think 80 yards. On 4,
yeah,
I think.
Let me see.
4 catches, 80.
Yep, he went 4 for 81.
Yes, man. That's great, man. To see a second-year guy because he could truly be our number 1. I mean, I had about 50, 60, and then Waller. You know, he went off for I think 110, 120.
Waller went 10 for 105 and a touchdown.
There you go. You know what I mean? But Renfrow, I mean, does what he does, man. This guy is out. Like Renfrow was that guy, dude. Like when he broke off for that big play, where he looked like he was going to go out of bounds and he ran off for another 15 yards. I mean, to me, that really helped us win that game. So
no, most definitely, I know exactly what you're talking about. I thought he stepped out of bounds. I ain't gonna lie. I think he did step out of bounds, but it was just too close. It was just too close, and the fact that they called it already on the field is that you can't challenge it. You know what I mean? You can't go back. Yeah. But I don't think it wouldn't made that big of a difference because he still got the first and it was still a big chunk play. He got an extra like 5-10 yards, but that was crucial.
There was a play where Ruggs was wide open in the first.
Yep, I remember you talking about it.
One defender on him. He was screaming for the ball. And I mean to tell you, Ruggs was pissed, bro. Like I was sitting there watching him live. He was mad as shit because he was wide open. There was not one defender even 10 yards near him. It was a clear touchdown, and DC didn't even look his way. So that let me know that there's still some more work to be done as, you know, just the chemistry wise. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, when I mean to tell you this guy was wide, go back, you break down film. You're going to see.
Yeah, I'll see it.
Bro, wide open, bro. Wide open.
I know there was definitely one play to where Waller was wide open as well on the seams.
Yep.
He was just dead. He was just wide open on the seams. I think it's just – I said it before with Carr. I think he was rusty, yo. I think Carr had some nerves. I think Carr was rusty. He just needed to get that out of his system. I felt like, you know what I mean, settle down, get in a groove, start building that cohesiveness with his offense. You know what I mean, and the way the Ravens were just playing Like the way they were playing defense was like they did not respect us. I feel like the whole time they were playing defense, that's how I felt. Like they don't respect anything we do. They're not respecting our run game. Well, they were respecting run game because they were just all out trying to destroy everything in the backfield and our offensive line and try to pressure our offensive line to making mistakes and all sorts of stuff. But our wide receivers, they bullied us. So, I ain't gonna say Carr played a perfect game, but I think Carr. He did what he had to do. He pulled it out at the end. And when it matters, I'm telling you, when it matters, that boy is going to put on a show.
Real quick though, man. Shout out to Andre James. At the end of the day, man, he had a tough game, but you're playing against Calais Campbell pretty much in your first start ever. Like that's a tough assignment. You know what I mean? So for him to bounce back from a couple tough plays like at the beginning of the game. Just give him a little more time. I think Andre James is still going to be good. We all been spoiled for so long because we had Rodney and Huddy is one of the greatest centers of all time. But I still believe in Andre James. He did have a tough one, but like I said, Calais Campbell, dog. I don't care how old he is. This dude is still a monster. He's still huge. That's a tough assignment to draw on your first, pretty much your first start ever. So, you know what I mean. So let's give him a little more credit than what people are giving him.
No, most definitely, man. There's gonna be some miscues, right? Like you said, this is his first start. There's gonna be some miscues. How loud it was? You saying it's loud in there, even when the offense is on the field. You got Calais Campbell right across from you because I seen one play. I ain't gonna lie, one play Calais Campbell bullied the dog shit out of Andre James, and I think it was a run play, and he just blew it. Oh, it was the 4th and 1, and we ran it with Jacobs out of the shotgun, yo.
Why?
Exactly.
Bro,
exactly.
Why are we lining up at shotgun? First of all, DC's trying to tell the crowd to be quiet on 4th and 1 out of the shotgun. This is Gruden outthinking himself. This is what he does. This is what Gruden does. He outthinks situations. It's like, bro, just give it to Jacobs up the middle, or even have DC on a sneak and just keep it simple, or give it to the fullback.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Why didn't we see how many times did we see ourselves in like a 4th and 1, 4th and inches situation that game? I think 4 times, 4 or 5 times.
Yes.
How many times did you see Ingold get the ball? And I'm like, yo, give this man the ball. Just you know what I mean? Do the old fullback fake to the halfback. You know what I mean? Just give it to the fullback, fake it to the halfback. Like, what are we doing? Like, give this man the ball.
In the passing game, there was no Alec at all in the running game at all.
Yeah, that's funny, man, because he for surely our fullback got more receptions than he do carries.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
You feel me? Hey, Raider Joe says Hayward is gonna have a heyday against Big Bia. Big Ben. You already know, man. Hey, we talking about Calais Campbell and that Ravens defensive line. The AFC North is stacked when it comes to the defensive lines, and we have to play them this year. So next week we got Big Ben and the Steelers. They got TJ Watt, who just got paid, who's the highest paid defensive lineman now, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have him. I believe they have Hayward. They have I believe they have their own Hayward on the inside. And who else do they do? They have Tuitt still. I believe they have Stephen Tuitt still.
I know. Free went to Tennessee, but they look. Pittsburgh's always going to have a fire ass front seven. That's what they do. You know I mean, that defense, bro. Like they locked Buffalo down. They made Josh Allen look pedestrian as hell. It's just not going to be on the road. It's not going to be easy. But with a defense now that I truly believe in,
Ingram.
Yes.
Appreciate that, Agent Red. Agent Red put through clutch.
And Carl Joseph's going to want a little bit of revenge too.
Is he actually he's on the active roster?
I don't think so.
Is he? I'm surprised he's even a practice squad player. I think he should be on the roster at least. But
I got to get on this plane, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you pulling up, dog. Have a safe flight, safe travels. Everybody say peace out to Graf. He's got to catch that flight, man. Appreciate it. Safe travels, dog.
I'll hit you when I get home, brother.
Yes, sir, man.
All right, brother. Come on.
Yes, sir. Man, that was Graf. Graf was live from Vegas. He was live from Vegas. He was at the game. He was out there doing a few things, this, that, and the third, but he was really showing out, man. But on the note of the Steelers, we can hop right into that. Man, I've been on here for an hour already. Dang. Time flies when you go live, man. Time flies when you go by. Let's get to some chats though. Now that let's get to some chats. What's popping ready to tape? I sleep like a newborn baby last night after the win. Yo, big dubs, big dubs. I slept great. I slept great. Yannick and Max is gonna rock. Let's get to the Yannick thing. Has anybody heard anything about Yannick? Because I haven't heard anything yet. I haven't got any notifications. I haven't heard anything about Yannick's update on whether or not it's a hamstring that's severe. Is going to be able to just rest it and be back next week. So I'm not 100% sure. Are they activating Clinton Dix? I believe he's still on the practice squad. I believe he's still on the practice squad. It's tough right now because we were shuffling players around, and what's his name ended up being a healthy scratch, surprisingly. So I'm surprised he ended up being a healthy scratch, though. But, man, I'm going to close this one, man, with a couple of game balls. Game ball on the offensive side of the field. I have to give a game ball to Derek Carr. He showed out. Game ball to Darren Waller. You know, you just have to go to those two guys because they really put on for us. You know, they're the best. On the defensive side, I got to go with Gus Bradley. He's going to get the game ball as far as what I've seen. The whole defense played well. And if you got to give credit for the whole defense played well, it's got to be Gus Bradley. You feel me? He's the DC. So that was a big one right there for me. I'm just glad we got him in the offseason. But, y'all, I'm going to wrap this show up, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up. Appreciate y'all showing out, man. Hit that like button on the way out. If y'all new here, y'all just subscribe. I appreciate y'all subscribing. Man, big win, big dubs. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers next week. I'll probably be going live later this week talking about it. I'll drop some reviews on what's going on. Try to get that film study out real quick because I want to see how well the offensive line really did. And, you know what I mean? Until next time, yo, you already know what it is.